Buddy, I'm back in. Johnny, how are you? So today I want to tell you a simple, what I think is kind of interesting story about things that I can tell you about my life before coming to live in Bogota. That was a long time ago. That was 20 years ago. So why not to start with this presentation here? All right. So this is the place where I lived there. That was 20 years ago before I moved to Bogota. I lived here with my family. No, there's something funny because this bridge was built just like what 2 years before I traveled to Bogota. I was doing that makes it 22 years ago, right? And on the right side of this highway here, well, that's what we call highway. That's a road here. There's a train railroad here. So I live on this side, and my wife live on this side here. So there's something nice because when I was a kid, I I always stood up in front of the house listening to the music that was playing around here, and I used to say, "Wow, those people are always happy. They are always having fun from Thursdays to Wednesdays, listening to music and drinking and all that." And I say, "Okay, if one day I make some friends over there, I'll go up to these hills here to enjoy the kind of life they had." And look, I met my wife here. It was 1991 when I hadn't even graduated. She was studying at night, and I was a teacher there before I finished college. I was teaching English where I met it, and it's where all these adventures started. So I lived here, and in 1992, I found a job as a tour guide. I started to be a teacher. So I was a graduated language teacher, but I was always interested. I don't know how, and don't ask me how, but I wanted to become a tour guide. That was my dream since I first met my school teacher, my first English teacher was Hugo de Jota Medina. I remember he was a very funny guy, a paisa. He was a very funny and small motorcycle, a scooter. He used to go around the city, and in class it was so funny that from the very beginning I said, this is what I want to do in my life. I want to be an English teacher. And it worked, right? So I took a Lago bus to go. That took me like half an hour to go from here to here. This it was the Cameron Hotel right at 5 minutes from the airport and about 20, 35 minutes from my house. Okay. So, but to get there, you had to pass by Rodadero, right? And let me show you where Rodadero is. So you got Rodadero is this big area. It's like the small Miami in Santa Marta, nice place with nice hotels. It's a very famous area. The real attraction of the city, I would say, is Tayrona Park. You want to see real blue crystal water beaches, well, crystal water ocean, the Caribbean Sea. You have to go to the Tayrona Park that I will be showing you very soon. But this is a nice place. So at night, people used to go out here and they find um, lots of local music groups playing vallenato here. Vallenato is the most typical music in this area, Colombia, the north of Colombia, the coast. So they call us costeños, and that's one of the most representative costeño music in the country. Oh, but this is between my house and the hotel that I showed before, the Cameron Hotel. So this place is about 20 minutes. You should take a lot bus, and you can make even 10 minutes in a motorcycle ride. Okay? So I used to work at that hotel that I show you, right? And this is the place where I worked. That's another nice view of the Cameron Hotel. So I was coming from that poor neighborhood, and I started working in this luxurious place where I met a lot of people. I met a lot of people here because back then we used to receive a lot of people in Barranquilla Airport because in Santa Marta it was a small town, so we've never had an international airport. So we had to pick up the Canadians. There were two different companies bringing Canadians in that time in Colombia. One was from Quebec, and the other one was from Toronto. Right, so there was one flight, two flights a week, one on Mondays and one on Fridays. Mondays coming from Montreal, Barranquilla, and the other one On Fridays, we're coming from Toronto to Barranquilla too. So we used to go to Barranquilla and come all the way back to Santa Marta in 1.5 hours trip. And then we arrived to this hotel and we organized different tours for people. There were like 500 Canadians coming per week. So with 500 people a week, 8 months a year, you practice a lot of your English or French, and you really meet a lot of interesting people there. And you make some money, right? Um, so some of the main, the most beautiful places that, and I knew these places because I started working as a tour guide. Huh? It's funny that you can live in the place all your life and you don't know the places that many people from very far places in the world get to know because they have the money. So I started working here, and every day, like see 4 or 5 times a week, I was visiting this area here, the beautiful, and now I can call it pristine, almost pristine. Pristine is a word that means untouched uh, landscapes of the Tayrona National Park. This, for example, is called Arrecifes. So to get to Arrecifes, you had to go from the hotel, pick the people here by 8 in the morning. Sometimes there was a tour that where you had to get up early, really early, at 4 in the morning to get to the place at 5 and leave the hotel at 5:30 to go to the Tayrona Park. Tayrona Park, this area here was about 45 minutes in a bus. We used a local bus, we call it Chiva. Well, you wanted to show the most folkloric and representative things of Colombia to make it look real for people. But once you get off at the entrance of the park, and then you have to walk 45 minutes. Okay, in this beautiful place, you can't swim here. You have to warn the tourists that they can't swim here because it's dangerous. But the place is so beautiful that you can walk around here for I don't know 1 hour, knowing nice different spots of the Tayrona Park, which is long. It has actually over 45 kilometers that starts in Taganga and ends in Dibuya, I think. Uh, Other tour that we organized because we had Tayrona Park right here, but we had the Sierra Nevada and Santa Marta here. Okay, so it's nice because if you visit Santa Marta, you can really know what Colombia is. I think it's a representation of what our country has to offer to everybody. You can go to the beach in just 25 minutes, and at 25 minutes from the hotel or this area here in the Tayrona Park, you arrive to, okay, no, sorry, this is a place called Pueblito Chairama. It's inside the Tayrona Park. This is, can be the Ciudad Perdida, which is in the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, which is at the other side of the Tayrona Park, right? But this area here, to go to this place called Chairama, you had to walk 3 hours, 3 hours up there, going up. So people really had to be in good physical conditions if they take this tour. And I remember once I broke my own record doing this like 8 times in 2 weeks. But people used to take one of these tours like once a month or twice a month, but I did it many times in the same 2 weeks, which people ask me, hey, how do you do? Well, once you get used and you need the money, you have your family, and you have to be a supplier of your family, you just take it and you enjoy with the people, you don't get tired, right? Okay, another place you can visit in there's something that we call natural tours, all right? So this is like ecotourism for people who like to be surrounded by nature. But some people like culture, right? And we have something. Well, we can visit actually two places. Sometimes we went to the beach, just the beach that day, so you didn't go somewhere else or anywhere else. And sometimes you went to cultural areas, so sightseeing. That's what we call sightseeing. Sightseeing is visitas a sitios turísticos, monumentos. So you visit monuments, and this is a famous San Pedro Alejandrino. You guys, everybody knows in Colombia that this is the place where Simon Bolivar, the great Simon Bolivar, died. Okay, but this nice place here is Taganga. Taganga. There's a place here. There's a viewpoint right here. Okay, where you can take this beautiful panorama of the cities. You take and you cover the whole area here, which is nice. And this is a typical fisherman town, right? So people here make a living out of fishing. Most of them, I would say 90% of people here make a living out of fishing. They leave at 6 p.m. and they come back home by early in the morning at dawn. So that's why people say we're lazy, which we are not, because working all night fishing is really a hard job. So what do they have to do during the day? They have to sleep to recover energies. Okay. Well, after you recover energy and you have the money from your works, what you can do and you deserve it is to have a nice rest in a hammock or go to the beach right here on these kioscos here that they play nice loud music because we like loud music. We can have it because these are open areas, so you don't have any problem about loud music and enjoy typical food here accompanied by a delicious cold beer. All right. So I wanted to continue showing you. Want to continue showing you some other tour we used to organize. There was the nice Chiva Rumbera. Chiva Rumbera was a night. We went with a lot of people here in this Chiva. This Chiva has a special feature, characteristic. What's the special feature of this Chiva? This is maybe the longest bus we had in Colombia and the longest typical one here. So the name was La Nojoda. So do you know why they call it La Nojoda? Because you could be standing in a corner and you look the Chiva passing by and was the same bus and your reaction is going no jodas, hipote bus tan grande. So in English, you say like you saw the bus passing and the never ending passing bus, and you say, and you go like, what the fuck? That is a fucking long bus. No joda. All right, that's why they call it. So we went there with musicians, live music, and people dancing and visiting nice places at night, right? So to be a tour guide and accompany these people, so sometimes I have day tours, so you can be all day working here, and then at night they call you, and you needed the money because there's a high season, but there's a low season where you don't really have anything to do. So actually, you have to take advantage of the money you can make in the high season just to save and support your family during the low season. One nice tour I want to talk about today too is this here, Ciénaga Grande de Santa Marta. So you see these houses, Ciénaga. What is a Ciénaga? In English, it's like marsh, Marsh. Okay, and a marsh is a estuary, and a estuary is where you get the combination between fresh water coming from the river here and salty water coming from the ocean. So we had the Caribbean Sea on this side here that got together, okay, that mix the waters, the fresh water of the rivers here, and they make this called ciénaga. Ciénaga. So you can actually go fishing here and you find some kind of ocean fish here, sea fishes. And then you go over here and you find river fishing here. So the kind of fish that you find here in the Ciénaga, kind of lagoon, they are special. They are special and they need this mixed water to survive. Okay, some of the fishes I can mention here are mapale, which is a very nice mapale lisa. Lisa is a kind of fish, typical Colombian fish of this area. You only find lisa, that fish, the name here. And the rice that you prepare with that lisa fish is wow. You have to try that one day. Okay? So what is special about this? It's not very deep, it's shallow, so you can stand here and walk, right? And the fishermen they go fishing on this area, okay? And these houses are built over piling foundations. So that means there's lots of wooden sticks, and then on the wooden sticks they build that the wooden sticks. The piling is like the foundations of their houses, and they make it here. They've been living in those conditions for uh, hundreds of years. People are happy here. The problem is the poverty because sometimes they don't have nice transport from here to the well, yeah, the inland towns here. So they had to send their children to school over here. But they have some Small schools here too. Let me show you. Okay, so let me show you here. I don't know how to get out of here. All right, now this is the Ciénaga Grande and the lifestyle they have here. And sometimes you want to visit your girlfriend, which is here. She lives here. So you live here and you want to visit your girlfriend who lives right here. So you take a boat ride like this lady here, and you do that every day. Life is wonderful and nature is like that. I think nature conditions human lifestyle somehow, and finally, like human beings, we get used to any lifestyle according to the conditions you are surrounded by. Okay, so we took the tourists over here in a boat ride that took 2 or 3 hours, and they were well. Sometimes, well, they got shocked because of the poverty, but they also were very impressed to see how people still could smile and be happy in these conditions here. But the area is beautiful. Okay, this is a really beautiful area here. So as you can see, okay, so if I show you here, okay. Let me show you more pictures. So look at this. This is the pilot I was talking about, and the lady pushing her boat forward, backward, or to one side or the other to smoothly make the boat move around the town whenever they have to do something around here. And they go fishing. Okay? So this is a kind of flora and fauna you will be watching when you take this tour here, which is fascinating. People really love that place, and there's delicious sunsets like this that you can enjoy if you go with your couple, for example, or your family. It's something that one day if you have the time, you should go there, and you should make one tour like this. All right, let's continue with the presentation. And now, okay, so you saw Taganga ready. Okay, and this place here that is Sierra Nevada. So these are the kind of attractions that you can see in Santa Marta. Okay, and that was the kind of life I had for over 10 years. So dealing with a lot of people, nice people. The good thing about Canadians that I really liked was that they loved Colombia. Okay, they really love the country. They enjoy every place you show them. They enjoy the contact with every single person they met on the trips. They wanted to use they wanted to learn the language. They wanted to learn expressions, and they wanted to know everything about. And that really plays me because to see that a lot of people spend their money and they come to Colombia, they are not always looking at the bad things we have here, like those things that everybody talks about, like drug dealing and cocaine and marijuana and everything, and violence, but they really want to get into the beautiful thing that we have in our country. Okay, so now I hope you had enjoyed my short, simple story about the job and the things I used to do before I came to live in this big city that I love a lot too. And I expect you to do the same about something you want to tell us and share the stories uh, um, in our next class. Okay? Thank you very much. Remember, have a good time, have fun, love people around you because that will make these people happy. And if they are happy, you feel that vibe coming back, and that will make you happy too. That will give you a sense of satisfaction. Thank you very much. Bye bye.